Hey, what's going on there, folks? Welcome back here to a Sunday. It is the Earthmaster out here, about 12:20 p.m. California time, June 16th, 2024. Latest activity here on the globe shows a zero point 0.9, little small earthquake there into the northern California region. We did see some further large-scale activity here overnight and early this morning, including a six-pointer here just around the Peru area. Looks like this earthquake striking just offshore here. Very shallow earthquake at about 19 kilometers deep. We have been seeing quite a bit of deeper activity here into the subduction zone recently. So a six-pointer stirring up here about 7 o'clock this morning here. And of course, late last night, we did see that six-pointer out in the Macquarie Island region. As far as any adjustment going on, taking place following this larger movement here down south, looks like we got some return of deeper quake activity up along the plate boundary into the Tonga Trench here, where we got three earthquakes well below the surface, anywhere from 5 to 567 kilometers into the subduction zone. So things are getting quite active here in the area of the Pacific Plate. Once again, we'll watch for some further movement out here. Looks like we did see some surface adjustment taking place out here overnight. We'll continue to keep that in view. I need to bring the quakes down a little bit. Not for sure how they got so far up like that. A little bit of adjustment up here across the very end of the Aleutian Trench near the Kurokamachaka Trench up here. A couple fours coming in here, 4.8 and a 4.1 earlier this morning. Also into the Japan area, a couple earthquakes stirring up. A couple fours. 4.5 to be exact. So we do have some adjustment going on out here across various areas of the plate. We'll definitely keep an eye on things today as they are set into motion, it looks like. 3.8 latest quake. Well, it looks like they downgraded this. Originally, this came in as a 3.9 actually in the oil fields out here of Texas. If you look at the satellite view, this is riddled with a lot of oil pumping operations and pads and whatnot. Quite active. Some type of solar farm out here as well. Earthquake activity out here, very common on any given day. And it looks like today is definitely continuing that trend out here with some threes coming into the area. The rest of the country out here fairly quiet. There's that one lonesome earthquake up in Canada from last night. As far as the California region goes here, we should keep an eye on this area for some movement. Right now, there's just a bunch of smaller microquake activity. After midnight last night, we did see a 3.3 up here across the Ridgecrest area. Now, while it's not a big earthquake, it is out there in that zone where the sequence of quakes hit back in 2019, the six-pointer and the seven-pointer that struck out here near Ridgecrest. So keep an eye on the California area today with the Pacific Plate in movement. Further up north, got a three-pointer there late last night into the Morgan Hill area. That is on the Calaveras Fault Zone, just south here of the Bay region. The rest of Northern California, as you can see, very spotty. Really nothing showing up here across the Cascadia subduction zone there for now, but we'll continue to keep an eye on it. Looks like there was a little microquake early this morning, 28 kilometers deep here into the extreme southern end of the megathrust area. We'll check out tremor activity a little bit later on this evening. Looks like a 2.7 up here across the Seattle area near Redmond, Washington as well early this morning. So things definitely have been stirring up here in the last 12 hours across various areas of the Pacific Plate and adjacent plates. Things appear to be in motion out here. Hawaii in the middle of it all, literally out there on the hot spot of the Pacific Plate. Doesn't show a whole lot of earthquake activity out here right now. Looks like things are calming down in terms of the continued inflation and whatnot there across the summit region. Here's the last 2 days. Notice we got a little dip here. I was starting to wonder if we would see that, and it does look like that has taken place. Still, though, since the eruption began there on the 3rd of June, a very short-lived eruption, for 10 hours, we've been going up and up and up. So since it's halted, actually, we've been going up here. So a little bit of deflation going on here now. But we'll continue to keep an eye on things and see how it plays out. Up into Alaska area, still seeing a handful of earthquakes up and down the board. Nothing of major concern out there for now. and quite a bit of activity stirring up once again into the Philippines area, southward. 4-pointer, the latest quake there on the globe showing up. Rest of the models out here, some movement out into the Turkey area. A couple 2s out there. Looks like some 4s stirring up out here in the extreme. Let's see here. It doesn't look like, oh, it's going to be over here around the Georgia area. It looks like some 4s coming up here early this morning, all within minutes of each other. That's a thing I've been noticing here this morning, is the majority of these little odd quakes taking place in various regions are all within minutes of each other here. Definitely got some domino effect going on here today. There's that 4.3 into the Turkey area. The Atlantic Ocean looks quiet, clear. Let's go check out Iceland here real quick, see what's going on up north. From the Live from Iceland site, shows still looks like one active crater. Not for sure about the fountaining. It looks like a little bit of bubbling going on here. Out in that lava field, looks like quite a bit of this has collapsed. Still see some visible lava out here at the surface levels, but the extreme fountaining that we were looking at weeks ago here are, you know, obviously there's a little bit stirring up. So we know the eruption is continuing, while the inflation, let's go check out the inflation chart here across the Iceland area. Yeah, similar to last night. Doesn't look like it's updated. There's a little bit of a trend going upward, indicating some inflation, but we'll have to look at this in the long-term model and see, you know, what the trends have in store for us. As far as the next 5 asteroid approaches out here, here's the asteroid today, 2024 LZ4, coming within about 173,000 miles from us. That is within the Earth-Moon distance, and it's a 69-foot airplane size asteroid. I think we're pretty safe though with that. I don't think that's I mean, it's a close call, but not super close. Not what we've seen here a couple months back when we had an asteroid come within I think it was about 12,000 miles of us. 91-foot asteroid here, a couple million miles. All these other asteroids here, even though they're large, they are safely passing Earth there at a distance. All right, space weather activity. Well, we do have sunspot number 3712 that is directly looking at us in the face here, but I mentioned this last night here about the possibility of a split here in the magnetic structure, and it does look like that is taking place. Now that could decrease the complexity here of the sunspot, which would mean less flaring, less possibilities of flaring, and that looks like what's happening here this morning. We'll have to keep an eye on this one, but I noticed that extreme split going on within the central core. Same up here, got various regions, but they're split, and that type of activity does not allow for some extra, you know, like far as the strong solar flares. So we may see a C flare. I don't know. Looks like that's all we've been doing here in the past 24 hours is a little bit of C flare activity. And are we working? Hello? Space weather a little slow again. There we go. As you can see here, just a little bit of crackling with the C flare activity in the last 24 hours. 99% chance for a C flare, M flare at 55, X flare around 10% chance. Don't really think we're going to see any large X flares or even large M flares from that type of activity that's going on there. Got a split happening there within those cores. A little bit of flaring going on there right now. Some C flare activity. We'll watch it though. See what see what takes place. No major auroras here in the forecast for now. A look at the far side of the sun does show 3697 over there. This is probably a day old, maybe getting close to 2 days old. Let me see here. 3697. Can kind of see it over here. We should get a glimpse of this sunspot within about a week, I'd say. And we'll see if it still is active once it comes back around the bend for a third time. Quite an interesting sunspot, no doubt. All right, what do we got here for the weather outlook here today? We do have some severe thunderstorm chances out here with a probability of a 2% tornado risk across this green area. Wind and some hail threats out here as well. So just stay weather aware if you're out there with the family today enjoying a a beautiful Sunday. For Monday, you got a little bit of tornado risk up there. Again, wind and hail threats remain possible in those areas. Northern Plains states get quite a bit of severe weather around this time of year. All right, folks, I'm jumping off here. Got a busy day here on my end. Got quite a bit of stuff I got to do around the house and whatnot and outside. We'll catch you guys back out here a little bit later on this evening unless something major happens. But keep an eye on the Pacific Plate here. Definitely quite active overnight. Have a good one.